So, the story starts. All of you have received your letters from this magical school inviting you, telling you have gained a place, a prestigious place at the Warthog Academy. And you have decided you'll go to this school for the next 7 years, and you will set off. You've packed your bags and you've taken transport, or you've got yourselves to York Station, where you have to catch the midday train from Platform 0. And there's nothing about the charcoal clouds that hung heavy above York Station the Monday morning our story starts to suggest that anything strange or fantastical would soon surround any of the hundreds of commuters passing through the station. Amongst the crowd, we see. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves and more of a physical appearance of who you are? And also, I suppose, let's introduce ourselves as to who we are, because the thing we recorded earlier we haven't released yet. I'm Alex. I will be your dungeon master today.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Steven. Who are you?
I'm Pagford Twisp. Imagine, if you will, a sleek black hair in an emo style, almost going over one eye, but not quite. I'm kind of pale, but because of my half-elf nature, I'm still quite, strong, sleek jawbone, and naturally amazing complexion. I give off an air of charisma. Despite seeming quite uninterested.
As you pass through the crowds, sort of looking down slightly at the mundane humans that surround you, you barely pay them any mind, as they're beneath you. Across the crowded hall, you see...
I think I'd probably be sat on a bench reading. So my real name is Ben McCready, but my character is Alfred Bryant. He is Scottish. I'm not that great at doing a Scottish accent, but we'll see how this goes. I've actually done an illustration. This is what I look like in amazing high definition. Except the hair would be ginger, and there'd probably be a few more freckles. So yeah, just sort of like a short, little freckled sort of ginger kid. He's sort of sat, he's got his nose buried in a book, just sort of reading away, sort of barely noticing like the crowds all milling through.
Okay, who else is coming to the station today?
Well, another person who'll be approaching the station is Marengo Sweetgrass with a wildly variable accent that I may give up on after this session, because it's really, really not my forte.
Well, don't say that, Mr. Frodo.
But for now, imagine someone in maybe sort of quite tie-dye clothes, like a loose open collar, a big backpack towering over a child, and completely alone, but walking confidently as if they think they know what they're doing.
So my real name's Anna, but character-wise is Freya Pucelle, who has short but very, very black, very floppy hair, almost like it looks like it's wet. I am incredibly pale. A lot of people think I'm blue. They are correct. But we ignore this fact.
You're only slightly blue.
I'm only slightly blue.
Yeah.
I'm kind of average height-ish. I'm just your average 11-year-old if they were slightly blue.
And are you accompanied to the station by your father?
My father and my granddad have accompanied me to the station. Still not really sure what's occurring. But they're going to have a pint and talk about it later.
And finally...
my character in this name is Lei Yingxing, but everybody's going to call me Thunder Soup. Because that's because you don't know any other languages other than your own. Anyways, she is accompanied by most of her immediate family. Her brothers and sisters are there, her mother is there, her father's outside parking the car, and she's tall. She's an average height. She's kind of tall for an 11-year-old, and she has her hair in a low bun with a couple of traditional Chinese hairpins.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so you've arrived at the station. You've made your way through the ticket barriers. It came your letter came with a special ticket. It was sort of lilac coloured rather than the traditional orange of the National Rail. And as you put it into the barrier, it sort of sucks it in, and the barrier seemed to sort of shudder for a second before opening and allowing you to pass. And you have your ticket. And as you make your way into the sort of the forecourt of York Station, there's no signage indicating where platform 0 is.
Oh dear.
I have a question.
First challenge, yeah.
If the ticket isn't part of the National Rail, does that mean that it's not unionised?
Yeah.
I'm just getting an immersive world here. Immersive world.
The trains to the Warthog Academy are not nationalised. They're a private company.
Oh gosh.
In that case, I thought I was sat on the bench reading a book. I probably wouldn't read the book until I found the right platform. So I've got all my books with me, but I'm not sat down just
Okay.
yet.
In like a stack or in your bag?
There's some in my bag, and I got some I just sort of wrapped around my sort of waist here, like just
Okay.
carrying around, sort of cradling a bit.
Okay, yes, I quite like that.
I turn to my father's manservant, who is here with me, and my parents aren't. He's the one pulling my luggage, and I ask him, where's platform 0?
Platform 0? Well, said on the ticket to platform 0, so it must be around here somewhere, mustn't it? Would you like to stay here? I'm going to find it, sir.
You're useless, Jackal. You're useless.
I'm sorry, sir. I try my best. He sort of shuffles away,
Yeah.
leaving you with your bags on your own. You've got plenty of time. You came with a lot of time beforehand, so it's not too much of a hassle. Is anyone else doing anything to try and find it? Yeah, Charlie.
So, because my family is a bit strange, we did the goodbye and the big goodbye with everyone at a tiny little provincial station, and I've done the rest of the journey on my own so far. But I was given instructions by my parents. So I take out a pair of glasses with, those sort of like lenses that flick up and down.
Yep.
And I put them on, and I look for pixie trails.
Pixie trails.
Yep.
Are they the Luna Lovegood glasses then?
Yeah. To guide me to where I should go.
Can you roll me a maybe investigation, maybe survival?
Survival.
Survival is it's the skill for tracking.
Which would you prefer? I can do
Either. So it's up to you.
Do investigation 8.
8. There's so many pixie trails around York Station. It's a very magical place.
They also got lost.
Yeah, really wasn't been to York Station.
I'll follow them all.
None of them like lead onto the tracks or anything, do they?
No. The pixies are wise enough to not tread on the tracks. But yes, so you get a grand tour of all of the delights of York Station.
I'm sure at some point someone will see me.
You had an idea.
I say goodbye to my parents, and my first instinct is to find other people like me. And I spy this person with like huge glasses and a very colorful T-shirt.
He seems to know where he's
around.
going.
He doesn't seem to know where he's going.
Well, he's walking very confidently.
In circles.
He doesn't seem to know exactly where he's going, but it seems like he knows a general direction.
Okay.
So I beeline straight towards there.
Okay, yeah, so you see somebody approaching you.
You have to talk at some point.
Do you do magic?
Yes.
Hi! My name's oh wait, you can't pronounce that. Thunder Soup. I'll explain later.
That's a nice name. I'm Marengo Sweetgrass. How are you supposed to find the station without any means of tracking the pixies?
Intuition?
I'm getting a bit lost myself. Do you want to try these on?
Is that, sorry, did you have a second pair, or are you giving her yours?
I've taken mine off.
Oh.
So you put these on.
What makes you think I'm not going to run away with them?
With me?
I'm not going
Okay.
to.
So you put them on, and you can see I think you're quite in tune with the sort of the pixie dust and so on. It seems to be like there seems to be sort of shiftings, flickerings, maybe. You're not entirely sure what's going on. Could you make me a investigation or survival? So roll the 20-sided dice and then add your wisdom or intelligence, and if you have investigation or survival, another 2.
I have no idea what that means.
That's 16, and then you plus your intelligence there, which is plus 2, so that's 18.
18. Yeah. So you see a trail heading around a corner in the opposite direction to the way that Marengo was going. You sort of see it's almost as if like footprints leading in that direction.
Do I say anything?
Well, that's up to you.
oh, we're allowed to say. I think that one has the heaviest footprints. Let's go that way.
Okay, you seem quite good at this. I'll follow you.
Okay.
Do you want your glasses back?
So
it's that one.
The two of you, you point out the correct trail, and then the two of you head off towards platform 0. So we've still got. So you sent what was his name?
Jekyll.
Jekyll.
Yeah.
Jekyll the manservant.
And Hyde the cook.
Hey, you don't want to see Jekyll when he's really angry.
After finally being able to park the car, I arrived at the station whilst my granddad is grumbling at my father about his lack of driving skills. And then we're looking around and there's no platform 0 to be found. And then my granddad pipes up and goes, "That looks like a stressed looking teacher. That way." And so we vaguely wander in that direction.
Okay, so you're looking for somebody who looks like a teacher. Okay, well you see somebody who couldn't look more like a teacher. He's got sort of a shabby sort of tweed jacket with elbow pads on. He's got sort of little wire glasses that are sort of a bit sort of broken in the middle and sort of dip in, and they're held together with tape. He's sort of looking around a little distractedly, but heading quite sort of directly in a straight line towards a different part of the station. Are you going to sort of approach him?
Yeah. I walk up to him, kind of go to say something, but look at my dad. My dad basically tells me not to be a pussy, and I ask him, "Excuse me, is this the way to platform 0?
Platform 0? Off to the Warthog Academy, are you?
Yeah, it's my first year.
Oh wow! Well, you've got a treat in for you. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there, and I'm thrilled to be teaching myself currently. I've been a teacher there for several years. I'm Professor Blake. I'll be teaching you conjuring if you.
Oh.
Well, I will be teaching you conjuring. It's not an if. It's a chosen subject.
Right. So the train's over here.
Yes, I can accompany. I can take you there straight away. Is this your father and
my granddad?
Oh, right. Hello, pleasure to meet you. He sort of shakes their hand, and they sort of make nice for a few minutes, and then he sort of directs and says, "Shall we go?"
Okay.
Okay. So you head off towards the direction of sort of the outside of the station, a bit out of the way. So the only one of you who you're still looking around.
I've got my books. I'm sort of vaguely looking at the signs. I'm sort of wondering, it's got to be signposted. The world is a logical place. Everything is signposted. Can I roll perception to see if I see any signs, or are there just no signs to see?
Make a perception check to look for information that might show you the way.
Sure thing. I got a 9.
9. Yeah. There's nothing really to. There's no signs or anything. However, as you're sort of desperately looking around, you do overhear. There's a group of boys passing, quite sort of a little older than you, maybe sort of 13, 14, and they're sort of a bit of the like athletic sort. One of them's in a sort of a football top. Let's say York United. Is there York United?
God, there better not be.
Why not? Yeah, York United, and he's sort of leading the pack, and you overhear him saying, "No idea it would be magic, would you?" As he's going.
I'll say, "Excuse me there. Do you know the way to platform 0?
Yeah. Are you starting school today?
I am, yes.
Oh,
Very
well.
excited.
Well, good. You better be in Basilisk. All the cool kids are in Basilisk, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a fun house, I guess. But they're all quite magical creatures.
Oh, right. Well, you see, to get onto platform 0, you see that lamppost there?
Yes.
What you got to do, you got to run at that lamppost as fast as you can.
Can I roll perception to see if I can tell if he's lying?
Insight.
Oh, insight, my bad. I physically see that he is lying with my keen eyesight. 12 plus insight is based on wisdom. So plus 1, 13.
13. Yeah. There's something, you have a feeling he's like, his friends are all sort of laughing and chuckling. You have a feeling he's like having you on.
Okay then, you go first. Show me how to do it.
Well, I was going to go and get a drink. I was going to get some food first.
Oh, lady, get some for me too.
Well, I don't really know you, mate, so I'm just going to...
Okay.
I'll see you on the platform, though.
Yeah, have a good day.
Don't forget to run really fast.
Oh no, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, him and his friends sort of head off towards the same part of the station that you guys have gone to.
I'll sort of puff out, I'll do a little sort of pout, like, and then I'll sort of keep looking around for clues, I guess. Oh, can I see there was the Jeeves the manservant? Oh, no, not
Jekyll.
Jeeves. Jekyll the manservant.
You see Jekyll the manservant. He walks up to this pillar. You think he's overheard the conversation. And he sort of raps on it a few times and nothing happens. He looks around.
God, he's so useless.
You
No.
You okay there, sir?
Well, yes. You don't know where platform 0 is, do you?
No, I'm looking for signposts. I've been told you need to run into that pillar, but I think I was told wrong.
Can you make a persuasion check?
Oh no!
Oh no, I said I think I was told wrong.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's no use. Well, that's no use, is it? Well, let's look around. That man looks like a teacher. You see Professor Blake walking away with Freya, and Jekyll walks up to him and sort of says, hello, sir. Do you know where platform 0 is? And Blake explains and so on. And Jekyll returns to you a few minutes later. He's like, right, well, I found it. Of course I did.
Good. Well, let's go then.
Okay, I'll take your luggage. Off we go. And he leads you back, and you all sort of.
Are we in the same carriage?
You're not. You haven't reached the train yet, but yeah, you all find yourselves. There was an archway at the back of the station with sort of. It looks like it could be Latin in sort of inscribed over the top of it. And there's a sort of a conductor there with a sort of quite long, wispy beard. And as you approach, he sort of eyes you and sees your tickets, gives you a nod, gestures through the barrier, through the archway. And yes, you cross through. It seems just another part of the station, except it's only got children and like their families. There's nobody, like there's no commuters, there's nobody going on holiday. It's just like children with lots of luggage and their parents and so on.
Are they not steam trains?
It's not a steam train. It's just a
I love the idea.
normal-looking,
It's just a ordinary electric.
normal-looking electric train. It's looks kind of a bit battered, maybe a little burned on the top, perhaps. Bit singed. But yes, this is the train. There's a little like departures board with only one train on, and it's the 12 o'clock train, and it's from platform 0.
What time is it now?
Nearly 12 o'clock. Yes, so you all board the train. I think for the sake of a story, let's say that you all find yourselves in sort of the same carriage. I think if none of you have particularly, you don't know anyone already, there's no real reason why you'd go and sit anywhere else. So if you just sit somewhere random, you find yourselves looking around and you see the two of you already met. Perhaps you got talking at this point.
Hiya.
Hi, I'm Freya.
Hi, Freya.
Hi, Freya.
Hi. Would anyone like a jelly baby?
At the mention of jelly babies, I'll sort of close the book I was reading. Yeah, I'll have some.
A jellied baby?
Okay, let me explain. So, a jelly baby it's the shape of a baby, but it's made of like sugar. It's just sugar, basically.
There's no babies in it.
No real babies. Do you want one?
Yeah. Do you want a curried nip-nap? Homemade.
What's a nip-nap?
A nip-nap. You know, you find them on the underside of bridges by streams. And my mum picks them, and then she curries them at home to preserve them. Really nice.
Do they live in the water, or do they just live
No, they live on the underside of the bridge.
So they're not aquatic.
They're dead, are they?
Nip-naps are a plant.
Oh right.
That's roots, not legs.
Sorry, I live in the Mundy world. This is all.
I'd like to add that I'm sat on a window seat, desperately looking out of the window, and my eyes could not roll
Which
any
one did you
harder.
What's your name?
Either strawberry or raspberry then.
Exotic.
Anyone else like a jelly baby?
I'd like to know actually, what's the story of those distinctive glasses you've got on there?
Oh, there. So I could find the platform.
Find the platform. How did you find the platform with those?
Pixie trails.
I offer Pagford a jelly baby.
I take a blackcurrant one.
Oh, the darkest of the jelly babies.
Exactly.
They don't like to be watched, but they feed off magical energy.
This is
So when lots of magic users converge in one place, the pixies sit and they bask, they bathe almost in the magical overflow.
they're not bathing around us now,
I
are
didn't
they?
get your name.
Oh, I'm Marengo.
That is a
Marengo
cool name.
Sweetgrass.
It's better than soup.
What? Your name's Soup.
Your name is Soup.
Well, my actual name is in Cantonese, but none of you can pronounce it, and
I can give it a go. I don't want to call you Soup if you don't want to be called Soup.
I don't mind. I don't mind. It's Ying Xing. Try it.
Ying Xing.
Close enough. You can call me Soup.
Okay.
Oh, I got Soup because the first time I used my powers was when I electrocuted it. Thunder Soup. That's what my name is.
Whoa, electrical soup.
Did it improve the taste?
It just got hotter and warmer. Now my parents usually get me to kill all the animals before we put them in the pot.
Kill him with lightning.
Sorry, are we
It's
boring
quick.
you, Pagford?
Only little.
How do you know it? Do you two know each other?
I mean, his luggage says Pagford on it.
That's a very good point.
Oh wow!
It's,
Wait,
It's none of your business. You don't need to be reading my luggage.
No,
I don't go through your luggage.
But
There's no need to look through mine.
You shouldn't be so self-important then, should you?
Oh, that was an in-character exhalation.
So things are a bit awkward, and as they are a bit awkward, the train sort of shudders, and you hear the beep 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 beep, and the doors slide closed, and the train begins to move out of York Station. Just out of interest, is your manservant coming with you?
No, he limply waved me off at the
So,
station.
yeah, he sort of taps on the window as you're. Oh.
And then he's going to get to walk home to Canary Wharf.
Do you?
I'll point to sort of, Jekyll, and say, you know, he helped me find this station. He's a nice fella.
He does what he's told.
Is he your father?
God, no. He works for my father.
Oh, I see. The rich type, are you?
You could say
Don't
that.
be rude. You can't just go around asking people if they're rich.
I suppose
He probably is though.
Pagford Twisp of the Twisp Corporation.
Ooh. Would we have heard of the Twist Corporation?
If you're Monday, then yes. They're like no.
If you're Monday, then no.
If you're Monday, then no. If you're from the Wizarding family, I guess they sort of cloves or
Magical items of some varying
Yeah.
nature.
I'm imagining that if there's like brands in the Mundy world like that make technology, and there's brands in the Wizarding world that make magic shit,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that you're like Apple.
I'm thinking more like Toshiba.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
Toshiba?
Brand.
They don't just make cars. They make cars,
they
they
don't
make
make
appliances,
cars.
Yeah.
cameras, TVs.
They were my old laptop.
Oh, I was thinking of Toyota.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, so wait.
I've got it.
A twist for you. You really are a wealthy one.
Exactly.
I got.
Money isn't everything.
I
It's
know,
not,
that's what
but-
my father wants me to think by buying me this economy class package.
Are we having lunch?
yeah. So it's
It is
around.
12 o'clock.
As the train moves on, it gets to around lunchtime. You may have brought your own lunch. There is a young man pushing a trolley through the carriage. Anything from the trolley?
What have you got?
Oh well.
Do you want anything, Marengo?
I've got Mars bars and
For what my mum let me bring.
Okay.
Oh, coffee.
So you know in Harry Potter, there's the like chocolate frogs and they have like little trading card things.
Yes.
Is there any equivalent thing which would have trading cards in this?
Yeah. So there's
That specific brand didn't last the 20
You
years.
know, what's the sweet? It's like a roll of sweet that's sort of rolled
Like a
up.
fruit
It's
winder.
a fruit winder, yeah. So there's fruit winder that contain sort of scrolls inside. And those scrolls contain like weird sort of like useless but niche spells.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a spell to make your like the notable features on your hands swap places. So you had spots on one hand, now you had spots on the other hand. Useless, but weird.
That could
And
not
that's
be
sort of-
more niche and useless.
They're sort of collectible as well. People will be like, oh, I've got the whole set of useless hand spells.
So yeah, what's that product called?
Winding scroll.
I'll take a
Excuse me,
wine.
Wow.
Did you say that there was coffee on the trolley?
Oh yes, I do
Yeah, I'll
coffee.
have a coffee.
Same here.
But
I'll take a tea. you got
I
that
love
from
how
the
they're
same
serving
as the
tea and
company.
coffee from the tap.
yeah.
Ice cream.
Oh, ice cream. Oh, sure. And it was from the same tap, but it's a perfectly formed ice cream.
And one of those scroll winders on a sandwich.
Oh, cool. Hand you a sandwich.
Okay.
Do you know how long the train takes?
Oh well, yeah. On a good day, about 3 to 4 hours. On a bad day, 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. The type of day has no bearing on the train ride,
Thanks.
but it seems shorter on a good day.
why coffee?
Coffee is great.
I'll need it to stay awake with you people.
So I'm assuming you guys got coffees to match your personalities, didn't you?
Yes, black.
I got tea. Don't know what that says about me. Other than that, I like tea.
I just got a latte because I like latte.
Oh yeah, what was in my scroll?
I'm at 11 and
Oh.
drinking coffee. That's quite weird, but
Hey.
So this is a spell. It turns your eyebrows upside down.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Can I try it?
You could, yeah, sure. There you go.
Any difference?
So you read out the scroll, and there's a sort of weird sort of tickling sensation in your eyebrows. Could you roll me a d20, just a 20-sided dice?
If you get in that one, the eyebrows just fall off.
4.
4. So your eyebrows turn like 90 degrees, so they're now going up on your head, which looks weird. They sort of come alive and they sort of worm their way like upwards. You feel, and you're like, oh god, what have I done?
That's a hell of a CGI budget this game has.
Imagination.
Oh my gosh, I have exclamations for my eyes, don't I? Okay, should I keep that on me?
If you cast the spell again, it might rotate back around.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but what do those symbols mean on your luggage?
Oh, which one?
That one.
That one keeps sock trolls from eating my socks.
What's a sock troll? I don't know what happened to my accent there. What's a sock troll?
Well, it's a misnomer. They're like tiny little mole-like creatures.
Do they create the odd socks when you put your socks in the washing?
Yes, because they need the variety in their diet. So if they have two of the same, they feel quite sick.
Sick.
I know I always have to get rid of them in my washing machine. I'm tasked with that.
They're just charms. Keep things at bay, keep things away, bring good luck.
I have something similar, but it's purple.
A purple, is that a purple symbol or what are you showing there?
What's that a symbol of? Or who's that a symbol of?
Oh no, that's just the god. That's just the god of earth.
Ah, I see.
That's just the god of earth, and then we have a god of kitchen, which I didn't think I needed to bring because a statue for the god of kitchen I didn't think I needed to bring because
I've
I'm
just got a
assuming you're
bucket.
catering, right?
Yeah, there's going to be food there. They
Yeah,
said.
I don't think I need that.
I just brought my bop it.
What?
Quietly get out your bop it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it.
Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Have we reached the stage yet where the technology starts getting weird? Or?
Not yet, no. So you're travelling through the Yorkshire countryside. And after a couple of hours,
You can
you
keep it
come
if you
to. You can see in the distance.
Sure.
You can see. You can see the sea stretching out before you.
But I've got nothing to give. No, wait, I do. Tie a necklace around you. The chain's quite heavy, but whatever it is that's working as the pendant sort of floats slightly.
What does this do?
It's just a little charm to bring good luck.
Thank you.
My mum used to get me to go down and make them with her. It's made out of a sort of like seaweed that grows near one of the streams near my house. And you get the seaweed and you dry it out, and then you infuse it with a little tiny bit of magic, and it'll just float just ever so gently.
That's really cool.
I feel slightly teary, but don't show it.
Oh, that's really nice. So yes, as I was saying,
I get out the book from my luggage and just start. It's like it's not discernible what it is. It's just a plain sort of brown leather binding, and no one can really tell what I'm reading, but I'm reading something.
fair enough. The train is continuing on. You can see before you in the distance the sea, the Irish Sea.
Are the tracks heading
The
into
Irish
the sea?
Sea.
Oh.
I know geography. Yorkshire over
The North Sea.
north. No, the other way.
Which one?
The other way.
East or west?
West.
West is the Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I thought Yorkshire was in the east.
Are the
It
tracks,
It is. You've gone
Oh, right, oh,
across
okay.
the country.
are the tracks heading into the
Across the
ocean then?
Channels.
Well, at the moment
So
we're
we're
just
now
sort of
in
heading gently towards.
Cumbria.
Yes. Yes.
Someone get up a UK map.
I do a map and I do a little
It
red dotted
depends
line.
how
heading
far
across.
up in Yorkshire you are.
Yorkshire's quite big, so it's either Lancashire or Cumbria.
Cumbria.
One of those two. And you're heading towards the sea. Obviously, you don't know necessarily which county you're in. It's a magical place. It could be any county. Could be.
County of the Pennines.
It could be Cornwall. It's not Cornwall. But yeah, you're heading towards the sea, and the tracks. If you sort of peer ahead down the window, you're sort of occasionally looking out the window. You can see that the tracks seem to be setting in a straight line towards the sea. They're not sort of curving around to go along the coast. They're just going straight towards the sea.
It's kind of a relief.
Is she
really.
supposed to have a reaction?
That was dark.
Are any of us supposed to have?
I mean,
a
it
reaction?
could be worse. The school could be in Carlisle.
That was-
You don't have to worry about the sea. It's nothing to be scared of.
There's a slight air of panic as people occasionally look out the window and are like, guys, we're going towards the sea. And all the other students
I'm
are
not
like,
worried. Yeah, I'm not worried.
That's so cool.
and as you come to the edge of the cliff, the train just passes out straight flat onto a sort of a viaduct, which seems to sort of rise up out of the sea just in front of the train.
So it's like being built as we
Yeah, it's been built. And if you look behind the train, you can see that it's sort of falling away again behind
It's
you.
got like the loading animation of Lego.
I look out of the window to see if I can see any animals.
Make me a perception check. So roll the d20 and then add your wisdom, and if you're proficient in perception, your proficiency is a +2. Oh, that's right.
well, that's
Doesn't
a
matter. Yeah, if you get a 20, really good things happen. So you look down below you. You can see sort of like dolphin-like sort of jumping out of the water, heading back in. You can see a sort of like a long sort of serpent, or maybe like a dragon, but more of a sort of an Asian dragon rather than a sort of European dragon. So quite long and sort of snake-like and sort of diving out of the water. It seems to be like made of water in a weird way, but slightly sort of silvery water, so different to the colour of the Atlantic.
So like a wyvern then, rather than a traditional
Yeah, yeah.
Norse
So
dragon.
it's got just wings and tail. Yes, and it's sort of jumping out of the water, sort of chasing the train, as it were.
I
Yes.
point it out to Marengo. Look,
Oh my god, that's fantastic. What is it?
magical.
Oh, can I roll? What sort of roll would it be to identify?
So you see these two looking out the window, and you peer out as well. Could you make me a nature check?
Nature. That is 5 plus 5, 10.
So you know about dragons, and you think this looks vaguely dragonish in a weird way. You think possibly it might be a sea dragon or something like that.
I'll say, hold on a minute, and I'll sort of reach into one of the books in my bag, and I'll turn through some pages, and I'll show the picture for dragon. And I'm like, this is sort of a dragon, maybe.
You look
I'm
at
not
this
quite
picture
sure what that is.
of a thing which is like got scales and like massive wings and like 4 legs and sort of quite scary looking face. It doesn't look a lot like what you saw in the water.
Okay, well must be in the same genus sort of. So they're
Yeah, if you flip through the pages of Merle's Manual of Monsters, you can see there are lots of different types of dragon.
A winged
can I-
eel.
That's what it looks like.
Well, that's actually a Chinese dragon. I don't know what it's doing here.
Yes, it's from your heritage.
That's
It's a lot
from
more
my
like a dragon.
heritage.
Yeah.
That is a dragon. It's what is he doing here? He's supposed to guard the seas. Oh well.
If he's in the seas, isn't he guarding them?
True.
He doesn't look like he's guarding much. He looks like he's just having a whale of a time or a dolphin of a time.
He doesn't look like he's gonna interfere with the Express's progress, does he?
He doesn't. No, he's not going to attack the train.
So you were reading your book in the corner there. I'll have a peer at the book
Come
and
on.
see.
Come on, you should go
You see-
look.
I glance up because I hear everyone making a commotion. I glance up to see if I can recognize what it is.
If you want to roll a nature check, you can.
I will roll a nature check. 17, yeah, 17, yeah.
You think it's a sea serpent. You've got quite a lot of experience with your pantheon of gods is a bit sort of serpenty, and you know that this is a sea serpent. They are relatives of dragons, but they're not as closely related to bee dragons. They're more sort of celestial bodies. You didn't know that there were any in the mundane world, but you don't know if you've crossed over into the fantastical realm yet.
Yeah, I keep that to myself. There's no need to mention that, so.
Okay.
What book are you reading there?
My book.
And what's it
There's
called?
no need to be that rude to him. He's only asking.
It's my personal business.
It doesn't mean that you have to be a dick about it.
I'm from some kind of rural family.
Can you
I'm
not?
from a pub.
Stop that. Stop being mean to her.
What do you want to know about my book, then?
Are you?
I mean, I'm just a fan of reading myself. It looks like an interesting book, all sort of dark and mysterious. There is no title on the cover
It doesn't need one.
because it's your book.
Because it's recognizable to me.
Ooh, I'll say that sort of slightly aloud. You got some. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Diary?
No, not a diary. Like you got some balls, but a kid wouldn't say balls. They'd say gusto. I don't know. Is it still recording?
Yeah, they only record for like 20 minutes at a time, so every 20 minutes I'm going to go and
Okay.
restart it.
So you got some gusto there, I'll say, and I'll sort of pull out one of my books and read. I'll read alongside you, sort of making a conscious effort to turn the reading into like a group activity, which I'm guessing you might resist. Or...
I'll, as opposed to you saying that I have gusto, I'll sort of say, thank you.
Ooh!
And then I'll go back to reading.
I'll sort of smile slightly proud of the fact that I got a thank you. And yeah, continue reading.
Okay, so a few hours, maybe about halfway through the journey, there's a bit of a commotion around the other end of the carriage. There are 2 girls who are sort of fussing over like a cage or sort of like a bird cage type thing. It's covered with a cloth, and they're sort of poking underneath the cloth and putting bits of food in. Sort of generally interacting with this weird cage thing. And then you see from the other end of the carriage, the entire cage sort of like jumps up into the air and sort of floats up to the ceiling, and then like falls down again. And they seem quite surprised by this, and they sort of correct it and make sure that whatever's inside is okay.
I don't
Have you
look
ever
up.
seen that anywhere before?
What weird things doing magical stuff?
Weird things doing magical stuff like that weird thing doing that magical stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen occasionally objects just sort of not coming alive, but like people can animate objects with magic, and sometimes you know that there are lots of like spirits, like fairies and pixies and that sort of thing. Occasionally, one of those will animate an object with magic just to screw with people.
Just a question. Are my eyebrows still?
Oh yes. Over the course of the journey, they're gently sort of like wiggling their way back into their normal place.
Oh, would I be able to have my my card back there for the eyebrow spell?
Okay. Here you go.
Thanks very much. I'll sort of pop it in my pocket.
Yeah, it's not a particularly rare one,
What that
unfortunately.
is?
So you probably already have it.
Is that it's a
It's
common
got
then,
that.
is it? And, what would be like a super rare?
Super rare would be like useful spells, like a spell which lets you walk on the ceiling or something like that.
Ooh.
Marengo
Useful
and I go
spells.
and look at the thing.
The weird thing under the cheek. Okay.
The
Can I follow?
capital T
Can I follow?
thing.
Yeah. So the three of you sort of tentatively walk down the carriage. As these girls see you approaching, they sort of pull the sheet over and sort of look. Yeah. What? Can we help you?
What have you got?
It's
Looks cool.
You're not going to tell anyone, are you?
If I
Of
give
course
you a
not. Why would we?
If I give you a jelly baby, will you show us?
They're really good.
Okay. Well, fine.
How old are they?
They're first year, so they.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Thank you. This doesn't taste anything like a baby. They don't say that. They don't say that. So they eat the jelly baby and they're like, oh, this is it's nice. Well, fine. If you've given us jelly babies, I guess we can show you. And they sort of pick up the card. But don't tell anyone. You mustn't tell anyone.
Promise.
Okay.
Swear my word.
And they pull up the sheet and you see inside it's a sort of brightly coloured sort of turquoise and red, and it's got sort of shimmering scales. And so a bit like a chameleon maybe, but it's winged and it's got little legs. It looks a bit like the picture that Alfred showed you of a dragon, but like baby.
Is she alive?
She's moving.
Yeah, it's like moving. It's looking up at you. It sort of does a little.
Can I pet her?
Well, yeah, okay, but be careful. She's got quite sharp teeth.
Oh,
I'm not afraid of
I know
getting
that
hurt.
I'm not actually in this scene. I'm assuming. We're
Yeah,
still-
no, you were still reading apparently.
But I'm just wondering, what colour's the dragon?
It's sort of shifting colours.
Ooh.
Various
Do
colours.
I roll to see
But,
if she
um,
kills me?
Predominantly, sort of light blue, sort of greeny blue. What did you guys want?
I'm gonna chuck the tiny dragon curried nip-nap.
A curried nip-nap. Okay. Yeah, so you sort of a whole curried nip-nap will be a bit big for this dragon. This big, but you could break a bit off and give it to him.
Can I?
Yes, and I'm going to move it into the cage with prestidigitation to save my fingers.
Okay, so you sort of you sort of throw it and sort of gently sort of
Guide it.
and it sort of lands and it lands in the cage, and the creature sort of sniffs at it, and it's sort of like a cat sort of licks it and sort of eats it, and it's notably it seems to enjoy this.
I ask if I can cuddle it.
I just did. Okay.
So you want to
Can we both cuddle?
you want to both cuddle.
You want to
Well,
touch it.
you know they said not to let out of the cage until we got to the Warthog Academy, but I really want to. So shall we?
So why don't we put our hands in the cage then?
Our whole hands.
I would
will.
happily just cuddle it in my arms, let alone my hands.
Well, okay, but you've got to be gentle because Mother said to look after this, and I can't go losing it on before we even get there.
Wait, sorry, who did she say said to look after it?
Mother.
Does it have a name?
Yes, he's Fred.
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 Hello, Fred.
He sort of croaks at you.
That was an amazing impression. Please do it again. No.
I put my hand inside the cage.
Okay, so you sort of work, sort of maybe opening the door slightly and sort of reaching inside. And at first he sort of backs off. Could you make animal handling check? Oh.
2.
6. So you reach in and it seems like it calms down a bit, and you sort of reach to go and stroke it, and it sort of jumps backwards, and the cage rocks back more violently than you expected, and it sort of falls. Your arm sort of falls out of it, and he's now sort of sat in the back of the cage with the door open, just sort of looking at you, a bit unhappy.
I adjust the cage so that he's upright,
Yeah.
and I apologise. Sorry, Fred.
Somebody spoke Sylvan.
I do speak Sylvan.
You speak Sylvan. It's a bit weird. It's one of those things where you speak a language and then you forget. It's not your main language. You sort of forget that you speak it, and then across the room you hear somebody speaking that language and you faintly understand what they're saying, and you understand that this creature is saying, like, what are you doing? Get away from me!
I'll sort of close my book. I'll sort of turn. I'll say, I'll be just a second. I'll then leave. I'll sort of say, was someone speaking Sylvan out here?
The girls sort of look around, and they pull the blanket down quickly. And they're, what? No. What's Sylvan?
Have you got some sort of fairy in there?
Fairy? What, like with wings and a wand?
Yes.
No.
Well, what is under there then?
It's a special pet.
A special pet.
Mother got it for me as a going away present. It's very magical.
A pet that can speak Sylvan. Do you want to talk to your pet? I could speak to him for you.
You can speak to things.
I suppose so.
Useful spell that speaks to things.
Well, okay, well, I guess, like, none of you tell anyone though. They sort of open up the cloth again,
Yeah.
and they reveal, and the cage is empty.
Ooh, nice.
Oh no.
We have to go find it.
Is it an
We have to
invisible
go find
pet?
it.
I'll ask.
What?
He's
No, Fred!
We have to go find
He's
it.
probably just asleep.
Invisible asleep?
They can do that.
I'm gonna see. Is there like a hole in the cage? Is there?
It's open.
It's out.
Well, we have to go look for
Aren't
it.
there
don't we?
magical things
Right,
that
we
go
need to-
invisible when they're asleep?
Actually, because I suppose, were you going to roll to investigate to see if there were any like hints around the cage?
Yeah.
I want to look and see if I can see where he's. Yeah, if there's any like claw marks or something.
Okay, so I mean, it was just sort of sat on the table in this train. But yeah, if you make an investigation check to look around for signs of escape.
Signs. I'm rolling poorly. 9.
9. There's nothing. Like the table's made of plastic. You wouldn't leave claw marks. The cloth didn't look like it had been disturbed, but I mean, you were all a bit distracted. Maybe it had when you were looking away. The two girls, they're getting a bit sort of agitated. One of them stands up in the seat and is looking around.
You can speak. What was that language again?
Sylvan, language of the fairies.
Try it. Try it.
I'll say.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Okay, I'll sort of say. I'll say. Sylvan. Fred. Where have you gone?
Make me a perception check.
Perception. 7 plus 3, 10.
10. So you hear a voice replying, but it's a bit hard. Sylvan's a bit of an echoey language.
Yeah.
And it's a bit hard to identify like where it's coming from. The rest of you hear a bit of a squeak coming from somewhere, but you can't figure out where.
Can I make out what the squeak says?
Squeak is it's saying they put me in a cage. I don't want to be in a cage.
Oh, he is complaining about the cage.
I'm not surprised. You shouldn't cage stuff. A run for a rabbit is one thing, but they're animals. They shouldn't be caged.
Why don't we give him food? Like, well,
Or-
he's
or-
gonna have to eat him something.
Yeah, why don't we leave him some food and say that if he behaves, he can stay out of the cage?
Sounds.
I mean, he's
Right.
intelligent. You can talk to him.
I can. It sounds like a reasonable idea. Okay.
Well, what food should we leave him?
He liked
quite
the
liked
nip-nap.
quite liked the nip naps.
Oh, and you've got more nip naps.
Yeah, I brought loads. They last for ages.
Well, great. Maybe put out some nip naps like on the table here. And Fred, if you want some nip naps, they're on the table.
I'll translate that. Although I suppose I would just say nip nap because I don't know the Sylvan word for nip nap. I guess.
I'm gonna put it root side up.
There's a sort of shifting on the table. It sort of tips slightly, and you see little bits of the nip-nap just sort of disappearing into space.
Ooh.
And then gently there's a ripple, and the creature sort of appears out of nothingness. Just sort of.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Fred.
It looks up. It doesn't seem to understand. It just sort of looks up at you, a bit like like cats sometimes do, just sort of quizzitively.
Can you tell him that I'm sorry if I offended him?
Right on. I'll say, and then I'll say I'm sorry if she. Well, she's sorry if she offended you.
Oh well, what? No need to be sorry. Misunderstanding.
Fred says it's all okay.
Have you got any more? Have you got any more nip-naps?
How many more of those nip naps have you got?
It's about halfway through one of them now.
I know, I've got a brown paper
jar.
bag.
Jar.
Yeah, a jar.
Yeah.
A jar is better.
It's
A
like a
brown
large
paper
mason jar.
A large mason jar of these things.
We've got quite a few.
Yeah, I very much like some more nip-naps.
I think Fred likes some more.
Don't eat too many, don't make yourself sick.
Eat as many as you want.
He sits, he's sort of one nip nap on the one arm, one on the other. And the girls say, well, thank you for finding Fred and give him a stroke. So, are you first years as well?
That's
First
right.
years.
Oh, wow.
This is.
Wait, we've left one person on a train, haven't we?
What's
We're
this?
on a train.
Oh,
We're
everyone's
still on the train.
Oh.
Yeah, this is all kind of new to me. I live in the Mundy world.
Oh, wow. Well,
Same.
I did as well. She goes to sort of shake your hand as well, like assuming that's.
Are the two girls siblings, or are they?
They don't particularly look alike. They seem to know each other already. It's like, yeah. So we're friends. We used to go to the same school, and then we got letters, and we found we were going on an adventure together. But yeah, we lived in the was it Mundy?
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I've been told it's called.
Yeah, we lived in the Mundy world too. It's really exciting when you're going to this place with magic, isn't it? My mother gave me Fred as a way to warm up and using magic.
Do you know any magic spells?
If you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
where in the Mundy world did you come across Fred?
Well, Mother bought it from a magic pet shop.
She'd better have bought Fred from a reliable breeder.
Oh, I'm sure
or
she
like
did.
rescued Fred.
Oh, Fred. Yeah, Fred.
Fred's a rescue dragon.
Fred was in a very bad home before I looked after him. She goes to give him a cover and he sort of ducks underneath and just one nip naps.
So do you know any magic?
Well, I can do this. Just stand back, and she sort of gets her hand. She sort of wiggles her hand, and then a small lot of sort of spark flickers, and there's a flame just sitting in her hand. I don't really like doing it though, because it's fire, isn't it? She blows on it and it goes out.
I can do this and make a spell.
You make a
Oh wait.
You make a spell.
I make a smell. I use prestidigitation to make it smell like cornflowers and lemons. In the air.
Oh wait. So am
Okay,
I
yeah,
allowed
sure.
to summon the powers of my gods or whatever?
It's a cantrip. You can do cantrips whenever. So.
Yeah. So, what do you want to cast?
I was just wondering because I'm a cleric.
Mhm.
Like, can I summon the things Can I summon anything that's not the cantrips?
So basically, the only things you can do with your magic are the cantrips and the
Okay.
spells you have.
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah, you don't need to cross it out. You can use it again and again. But yeah, you can do something with thaumaturgy. If you look in the book, you can make your eyes change colour. You can make a sort of. You can make your voice really loud. You can make the ground shake. I wouldn't advise that when you're on a train. Yeah, there are a bunch of different things you can do.
Can I just make his chair shake?
I'm away.
Yeah,
I'm
he's down the other end of the
corridor,
train.
yeah. I am listening though.
Okay.
I have moved from the window to sort of listen into the conversation.
Do you want to make me a perception check?
Okay, go on. 12.
12.
10, sorry, 10.
10. Yeah, you can. You can't hear everything, but you can hear pretty much what's going on.
Wait, what's your wisdom modifier, sorry?
Wisdom modifier.
Oh yeah, that would be
I didn't know
12.
you added the modifier.
Oh yeah, you do.
Hang on, yeah,
Oh,
it's-
okay.
if you've got the cross, if you specialise in the skill, you
Yeah.
add proficiency.
No, I
as well
don't.
as
I
wisdom.
don't have that in.
Oh no,
perception,
but even if you don't, you still have the 2 wisdom.
Oh right. Oh
So
okay.
it's still +2.
Oh okay then.
Yeah, the little thing in brackets is the skill that's associated.
Oh, Rumble of
So
Thunder.
the ability score that's associated.
Oh right. Okay.
So you would always add the skill in brackets and then +2 if you're proficient.
Got it. Okay.
So would that have been 12? Yeah. So you can hear most of what's going on basically.
Rumble of Thunder.
Okay, so you're just gonna sort of click your fingers and rumble. You don't need to roll. It just happens. So you sort of you click your fingers and the outside sort of along the train it's just a sort of low rumble of thunder, and the girls go, oh, wow, that's a lot more fun than making fire.
Well, when you make fire, you can burn someone.
They look at each other.
Or something. So you can set up campfires and then you can make marshmallow toast.
I do like marshmallow toast.
I can kind of do that. I'll have a go. I use prestidigitation to make a match-size flame. So I'll have to colour slightly.
Prestidigitation is so overpowered for just random bullshit.
Can
That's the
I
point of it.
can I recast
Looks cool.
Umagoji so I can make his fire brighter?
Yeah, you can cast normal
Is
and
it
make a
just
flame
one-upping
brighter.
each other?
No, because like I can call. I thought it means that it's making an already existing flame.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm making his already existing flame brighter.
Between us, we can do it.
It just starts
It looks
burning.
like a blowtorch.
Guys, I think it's scaring Fred a little bit.
Yeah, Fred looks up and like,
I've seen this
this
burning
fire.
fire.
It's okay. It's just to keep you.
I know what might cheer Fred up. I'll take. Are there any jelly babies left at all?
Only the green ones.
I'll say in Sylvan Fred. What do you think of the colour green?
Green's nice. He sort of looks at his scales and some of them shimmer and turn green.
Okay, do you mind if
I
I?
have one before? Okay, thank
So
you.
yeah, and I'll take a green jelly baby and I'll give it to Fred.
He sort of puts down one of his nip-naps and sort of reaches up and clearly doesn't like it. He sort of belches and a sort of spurt of sort of sparkles and brightly coloured gas sort of bursts out of
That
his...
is excellent.
Oh,
I'll
no.
pull out a little notebook and write, "Dragons don't like jelly babies."
Yeah,
Oh,
then he throws the beheaded jelly baby across the canvas.
I'm sorry. Do you want a napkin?
What's it going to do with a napkin?
Do you know about napkins, Fred? Or
Do you want me to
Nip
wipe your
napkins?
mouth?
I'll have the back. He doesn't need a napkin.
At this point, one of the older students that showed you,
The football.
The athletic guys.
yeah, he's sort of
The chance.
pushing his way through the train. He's making his way sort of from like the front towards the back of the train past you, and he sees you and he's like, "Oh, did you get through the lamppost then?"
I'll sort of give him a smile. I said, "Yes, it really worked. Thank you." Should I roll deception on that?
Yeah, I mean you can if you want.
Do it.
I'm gonna try and convince him that like his thing actually worked. Okay, that is 14.
14. Yeah, he looks at you and he's clearly confused.
That's a friend I made on the platform. I'll say.
A friend?
A friend, yes. He gave me some advice about getting on the train. Apparently, if you walk into a lamppost, you can get here.
Oh, that kind of friend.
Exactly.
So it's nearly the end of your journey, and you can see in the
As they return, as they're running, head back to the cabin, I sort of scoot
back
back
to
to
the
my
window.
window.
yeah, you can see in the distance out the window. You can see it's like a big. You've been going over the sea so far. But you can see in the distance it's like a tall like cliff of ice that sort of stems as far as you can see, like from all across the horizon. Is this long sort of fairly straight. There are a bit of zigzags and bays and crevices and that sort of thing, but it tends to be it's just almost a straight line across the horizon. And you're heading towards it, and you can see growing on the horizon is a hill on the top of this cliff, which is green. Everything else is sort of icy and frozen, and this hill and valley next to it, and sloping down to the sea, is a sort of green landscape, sort of normal looking, not icy. And atop the hill is a large castle with several towers. There's one which is sort of large and circular, which has a smaller, thinner tower coming out of the top. There's one tower which it's like it's a normal tower, except somebody just smashed out the bottom of it, and it's just sort of hanging in air. And there's a sort of rope bridge leading down. And your train sort of pulls up towards the castle, and then makes a gradual turn and stops on a second hill, like overlooking the grounds of the Warthog Academy. And I think that is where we will leave it for now,
Okay.
with you arriving at the grounds. It's been a lovely train journey.
Yeah, it's been very peaceful. I managed to write some things in that book.
Okay, yes.
Good.
Rejoin us next time for the sorting ceremony. And perhaps you'll learn some actual magic.
Yeah, maybe.